can create really intricate microvoxel bar there. So that's literally as small as we can go. And these are wonderful little things, and they create a lot of different features, but I just want to show you the most basic feature of them. They get to this size, they become a microvoxel, and that is their name. So don't be put off by someone saying, oh, you should try this with microvoxels. Say, you can understand what a microvoxel is, you just need to see it in practice and how they say that that will work. Okay, so antivoxels were the second sort of creation that came into the game, and these were created in a slightly different way. These were created by using negative space. So what someone did was they created a simple, let's say 5 by 5 cube. So we've got 5 by 5 by 5, and we just fill that up, and there you go. What they did is they deleted a hole in the middle, like this. So they selected the front side, they dragged it all the way through to the back, and deleted with the delete key. They then take one slice of this, so they copy that, and they paste it. So you have one slice here, and they put a different colour inside the middle. So we've got our white here in the middle of this. And what they do then is they select this whole 5 by 5 box once again, and they smooth it. Smooth it once, smooth it twice, and you'll see the hole in the middle is closing up. I will just smooth this twice actually. And then they take the middle selection here, and they copy 5 by 5 by 1. And with that they press Ctrl C to copy, and then they press Ctrl V, and they paste it over the front, and they paste it over the back. So what that's left is it's reformed the middle here. Hello Draco, how are you doing? Draco is one of the voxel mancers of the game and is a general god with voxels. If you ever have any really high-tech questions on voxel usage, Draco is your man, he will help out. So what we have here in this middle selection, if I copy this out and take it, my sound is very low. A few people have said that. Let's just play with my mic settings. Recording device. Mic properties. I'm not sure why I'm quiet. I can try and move my microphone a bit closer and speak a bit louder. Let's try that. So what I've done, back to this part, is I've copied out the middle selection, and you'll see that that middle square is smaller than it was. So we can select that middle square and copy it and paste it, and we have this little bar, which looks kind of like that microvoxel bar we had before, but this bar has a very special property. With this bar, you can take it, and we press Alt, and we rotate it slightly, so it's on its vertical axis, and we move it down to the floor level. And when we move it to the floor level, you'll see it makes no warping of the floor whatsoever. The floor underneath it is completely smooth. So an antivoxel basically means there is no air detail in the top and the bottom of this voxel anymore, so it becomes an anti-voxel and doesn't require the world to conform to its shape. I know this is a really cursory kind of a really cursory layout to the whole descriptions of these, but I think you need to see them and understand what they are in their most basic of forms before going into heavy detail with them. So after antivoxel we have megavoxel, and to create megavoxel first we need a microvoxel. So we'll go back and show you how to create a microvoxel. So we take our 1 voxel square, we select it, and we're going to smooth it 1, 2, we'll smooth it 2 times actually, that'll be fine. Then we're going to create, let's get a funky colour, so we're pressing the Alt key, selecting the red, and we're going to get a new voxel here. So we want a red square voxel, lovely. And we need to go back to our microvoxel, and this is how we create a megavoxel. And what we're using is the microvoxel to stretch out the megavoxel. So we're taking it from the centre, we're going to take it up 1, going to take it down 1, and we're going to take it out 1. No, I've done this one. Hang on. We need to go from each corner, sorry. So we're going to take it out here. Have I done this wrong again? What am I doing wrong here? Somebody tell me. Ah no, hang on. We need to go above the corners and stretch it. There we go. As you can see, I don't work with megavoxels all that often, so it's been a while since I've created one. And this is stretching the voxel out. So we go down 2 to the bottom corner, across 2, across 2, across 2. And what we've got here is a massive square voxel now. But the thing is, when you go to select it, it's only 1 voxel. It's not made it bigger in the sense of having the huge voxel in the game. It's not like making a bigger voxel. And you can do some fun things with this. So we've got this here, we'll select it and we'll press Ctrl C to copy, and then we'll press Ctrl V to paste. And we place it into the floor, and it almost becomes a tile. And you move it 2, and it makes a nice little gap in between. Make it 2, nice little gap in between. Bring it across 2, lovely little tile gaps. So what we've created there is some simple floor tiles. And Draconius has come to see us. Let me just add Draconius to my building list so he can drop some stuff. For anyone who's interested how I got this UI up, I press U and it brings you into claim management. You select the claim you're on, and you've got all the details regarding the claim here, and you can just go down here and you can add a specific person. You can choose their role as builder and add them onto the builders list, like so. And we've got the Bulgarians come to see us and fall through the floor, which is always funny. So yes, the tile system here is a really nice use of the megavoxel. So we've done microvoxel, we've done antivoxel, we've done megavoxel, and the last one that really gets used a lot at the moment is puttyvoxel. So let me just go and show you how we create a puttyvoxel. Over here you'll see I've got a little area that's one of my building areas. So we need to select an area that's a 7 by 10, and we'll take it up to 5. And once this area is built, we need to heal this. So we're going to go into the main part of our build, so it's definitely going to have dirt when it's healed. and we're going to click our heal tool, go over the selection area and click heal. And what I do is I take a little area out of here, I select with one voxel border all the way around, I press Control to go through to the bottom and just drop it down a few. And what I call this a little bath of putty voxels. And we select this area and we select the colour we want, which for this I choose white, and we paint that white. Now we've got a little bath full of white putty voxels. And what you can do with these is some fantastic things. You'll see a lot of different shapes coming up throughout the game. So what I'm going to do is select one of these. These are now complete putty voxels, that's all you have to do to make them. I select one of these and I click copy, and I'm going to change the colour of them just to show you on the floor. Let's make them obsidian so they stand out. We'll select that, we'll copy that, and we'll bring it over to our little tiled area, and you'll see all this little sort of grouting in between. You can take your putty voxel, you can put it into the gap, and you can just fill that gap with the voxel, and it doesn't warp the sides at all, it doesn't change the shape of what we had there before. Whereas if I now go to the normal add tool and get a black voxel and just go to put it in that gap, I drag it down into the gap, what it does is it warps everything around it. It wants to change the game around it. It wants to make everything slightly different from how it was. Whereas with the putty voxel that we've still got on copy and paste, or press Ctrl V, we can just drop that into the ground and it wants to fill the space without causing any other issues. It's quite happy just to sit there and do its job. So yeah, those are the four main items. So we've got microvoxels, antivoxels, putty voxels, and megavoxels. With them, I can't see any reason why anyone couldn't build almost anything in game. There is a load of complex techniques that have been discovered, and they are fantastic. Don't let me get you wrong, these techniques are immeasurably amazing, and the building that people have been doing with some of these things is just phenomenal. I can't even describe how great this is. Draconius, one of the people over here, has made some insanely clever things with some of the shapes. There's people like Schrodinger Cat and Kitana Jade who should have rights, I think, or unless I spelt your name wrong. Draconius, how did I spell your name? I spelled your name wrong, obviously. That won't be you. I'll just set the whole place to public for the moment, and Draconius can place the rest of the boards. Draconius has created a technique called the voxel generator, and I will go into that into another stream because that's something I want to dedicate a whole stream to, and I also want to give you some ideas of how you can actually use that technique for building in the game. I want you to be able to not only know the technique but also be able to apply it and think, oh well, that can make that item and that can make that item. So I've gone through all the basic building tools, and oh my god, this looks like a board cube of heaven. This will be oh wow, this is the full voxel generator, and for me doing a basic tool guide I probably should hide this because it's really not going to help anyone who's brand new to the game, but for me that's extremely exciting and I will be playing with that a lot later. Thank you for that, Draconius, that's really wonderful of you. That's awesome and amazing that you've spent the time to do that for other people. It's cool. You're an absolute genius. Dear Lord, you deserve a medal. There's people in the game like Draconius and so many cool people who are so nice to the rest of the community. They introduce us to these wicked shapes, and like you see all over my claim